Hey, welcome back. You know what? A democratic society always depends upon an educated and informed citizenry. As in this place, we are fascinated about the importance of information. In this episode, we are going to talk about how information is used by the illiberal leaders to be in the power. People want to live in a democracy, either real or a pretended one. Now, if I say opposite of democracy, which is dictatorship, what are the names of the dictators that comes to your mind? Mao Zedong from China or Hitler from Germany? Even though this kind of dictatorship still exists in this present-day world, however, thanks to the internet, the free flow of information which has become a part of our daily life gave birth to a new kind of autocrats. Internet fades away the borders, and this new kind of autocrats also adapted to this world of open borders, international media, and knowledge-based economies. In the Turkey of Erdogan, Peru of Alberto Fujimori, and Russia of Vladimir Putin, all these illiberal leaders managed to remove almost all the constraints on their power while using relatively low repression and pretending to be a democratic power. With the help of free flow of information based on the traditional media and internet, these authoritarian leaders came into existence and remain to be in power. In this episode, we are going to talk about a new concept called Informational Autocrats, which is based on a research that is published in Journal of Public Economics. Now let's understand why are they called informational autocrats. What do they do with information? The main tools that these informational autocrats use are propaganda, censorship, and other tricks to manipulate the narrative of public opinion, to convince them that these leaders are the best options available in their country to lead their country. These leaders survive by leading the public rationally but incorrectly. And in order to do that in this present day, besides using the traditional media, they also use internet and social media to manipulate the information that the public is exposed to. And the easy way of manipulating the public narrative is to put the public into an echo chamber. And if you want to know more about what an echo chamber is, you can click on this I button to watch a video where I explained about what an echo chamber is and how it is being used in this present day world. Instead of isolating their country, imposing ideologies, or terrorizing the citizens, these leaders achieve many of the things that they intend to only by manipulating the public opinion. With the help of censorship and co-opted media, they persuade the citizens that they are competent and benevolent leaders. Their legitimacy rests on their popularity rather than fear, unlike traditional autocrats. In an informational autocracy, traditional media and social media are heavily used by these leaders to keep the public into an echo chamber and to keep the popular narrative always be in favor so that the leaders remain to be in power. In case of traditional media, these informational autocrats try to manipulate media houses by sponsoring or by investing, not directly but through a wealthy supporter of their political party, so that this investment can be hidden and cannot be traced back to the leader. Another way is fabricated cases of tax evasions and fraud cases against those media houses. In case of social media, the tricks are different than traditional media. As in democracies, the citizens always seek to replace the incompetent leader with a competent one. The leaders use these social media platforms to send costly messages to the citizens to tell them how their policies are better than that of their opposition. another way to censor those articles that threatens those leaders to be in power, such as reports published by independent media. China's Wu Maotang, which means 50 Cents Party, is also appointed by Chinese government to have a control over their Chinese social media platforms. The name of Wu Maotang is derived from with the claim that the commenters and the controllers are paid with 50 Mao, which is half of a yuan, Chinese currency of course, for posting each favorable comment and for deleting each unfavorable comment. These fake commenters are paid to stir up hatred and resentment. All these fake commenters can be from the same country or also can be a foreigner who has got large fan base in a certain country. For example, Rihanna's tweet on India's farmers' protest in February 2021. A detailed analysis video I have already posted before on that topic. You can watch it by clicking on this I button. Apart from the role that media plays in an informational autocracy, a significant amount of role is also being played by the opposition. Most of the time, these oppositions are bribed to remain silent when this kind of manipulation with information and co-opted media are happening in the country. All the activities of informational autocracy that we have discussed can also be done by the opposition on the behalf of ruling party to showcase that their democracy is becoming an autocracy. So if you want to live in a democratic society, then next time vote for us, thus vote for the opposition. Unlike the historical autocrats, these informational autocrats are highly unlikely to use any kind of violence against the public because violence makes the motive of any leader very prominent that they want to be in power. And when the public knows about it, the supporters can be the opposers. This is why these leaders are unlikely to employ any violence or a little violence sometimes when it is needed. Moreover, violence is not cost effective. Violent places are not investment friendly. This is why violence is unnecessary for an informational autocrat. In a situation when violence is not an option, the best alternative is sue the dissidents with legal cases. For example, this study shows how Vladimir Putin continues to legally sue the opponent's prominent voices, such as the recent occurrence in Russia with Alexei Navalny. The sustainability of an informational autocracy often depends on the information elites of a country. So who are those information elites? Information elites are that percentage of a population of a country. They are well informed about the political activities and the real issues of the country. In a country, the population of information elites are directly proportionate to the democratic values of that country, meaning that the country with more of information elites can cast their vote by evaluating the performance of the ruling government rather not based on manipulation or fake information. It has been noted that in a journey of a country from autocracy to democracy, there will always be a phase of informational autocracy. Along with the development of economy, thus education and health, the information elites of a country will grow in numbers. The people from the grassroots level who are in more vulnerable position to get trapped by propaganda spread via traditional media and social media, their economic development, thus educational development, will help the country to be democratic in all aspects. The more control a leader has in country's information and independent media, the country is more likely to remain in informational autocracy. The only solution to take a country out of informational autocracy is to increase the number of informed citizens who will eventually make democracy indispensable and only option available to be in power. So now we know the concept of informational autocracy. and the different dynamics which is related to this concept. This concept is to kickstart a conversation, to learn from others' mistake and avoid repeating the same in our future. Can you think of any other countries when we talk about informational autocracy? What do you think of India and its present situation? It is a democracy or an informational autocracy? Let's have a constructive discussion where we can exchange ideas and avoid making the same mistake that other countries did in history. Let me know how did you like this episode. So we will meet with another brand new concept in our next episode, and thank you so much for being here today.